Oil climbs to its highest levels this year, supported by the OPEC Plus compliance with the deal on output cuts. Brent may head for the level of $58 per barrel in the short term. The ruble attempts to rise against the US dollar but remains rather weak. The energy market has avoided the phase of correction. The support from the OPEC Plus outweighed the existing risks and gave rise to the bullish trend. In January, oil production in the OPEC countries turned out to be less than expected. Moreover, Saudi Arabia will introduce additional output cuts in February and March to balance the market. Expectations of a new fiscal stimulus in the US also lifted crude prices. What's more, extreme weather conditions in the United States contributed to the bullish sentiment. A severe blizzard hitting the northeastern part of the country caused a power outage and disruption to the transport system. An unusually strong storm boosted the demand for heating fuel. This in turn may lead to a drop in the US oil stockpiles. On Monday, oil gained more than 2%, extending its rally in Tuesday's session. After 2 weeks of consolidation, Brent contract has finally passed the resistance level of $56.05 per barrel. It's now on track to test new highs in the past 10 months. WTI was also trading higher by 1%. As a result, North American crude settled just above $54 per barrel. However, the coronavirus spread in Europe still serves as a limiting factor for oil. The delay in vaccine supply to the Eurozone, as well as a slow pace of vaccination process, cast doubt on the quick economic recovery in the region. This makes the range of $50–55 per barrel more real. On the other hand, improved risk appetite may push Brent higher to $57 per barrel, and then the area of 58 will become its next upward target. Early in the day, the background was positive for the ruble. Stable oil market and demand for risk assets will encourage the ruble bulls. In the morning, the US dollar retreated to the level of 76. The ruble is likely to maintain the uptrend given that the risk-on sentiment persists. This will help the ruble win back some losses from the previous week. In this case, the dollar-ruble pair will flip to the lower boundary of the channel between 75 and 78. The pair is likely to stay in this range in the coming sessions. At the same time, the ruble's growth looks quite unstable even despite the current optimistic outlook. The Russian currency remains under pressure from other factors, including COVID-19 pandemic, which may affect the risk sentiment. Also, such political factors as the threat of sanctions and protests in support of Alexei Navalny limit the bullish trend on the Russian assets. There is still a slight possibility that the ruble will finish the day below the level of 76 against the greenback. The news about Navalny may send the ruble upwards. If the opposition leader is released from custody, the ruble may surge by almost 10% in the course of the week. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.